I'll be back in an hour, okay? Okay, Mabel? I- I'll be back in an hour. I love you. I'll be back.
Do you remember when we were together? Street racing down the city streets. Didn't care about the world, hadn't heard about it all. Didn't know about the hurt, didn't know about the fall. We were the restless ones.
I will definitely try to come here very early every day because there was no one before me and it was so smooth. My new favorite thing is definitely selling my stuff. I like it. I sent 3 packages today, so that was perfect over the weekend, and I'm going to try to update and add more things to my Vinted by next weekend, so then I can just come and drop off everything if I get more orders, which I hope I will.
It's centrifugal motion. It's perpetual bliss.
You coming?
We got nowhere to be, just a slow dance with the summer heat. The world outside can't wait a few, 'cause right now we got nothing else to do. The sun is peeking through the cotton white blinds, your hands still tangled up in mine. Feet on the wall, your head on me, floating easy. We got nowhere to be, got nowhere to be.
You might have seen that I've been collecting and pressing a lot of flowers, but I try to keep it a secret, sort of, why I've been doing that. And I think we're slowly getting closer to the time when I actually put out what I create. But I've been working on this idea, I think, at least since February. It took a lot of conscious decisions because I had to do a lot of research about flowers, which flowers I can press, how they look like, which one will keep nicer. The size of the flowers mattered, about the pieces, what I wanted to create, if I wanted to. Because, okay, so I was planning to start making dried flower art pieces and some jewelry as well. You know, I'm sharing my life online, but it would be so nice to share a piece of this land, which is the reason why everything started, basically, why I moved here. It was because of the nature and the weather. So I thought it would be such a beautiful way to share a piece of my home and the cottage to different parts of the world, maybe, to share beautiful pressed flowers. So that's what I've been working on. I'm going to start very slow because everything requires an investment. So I cannot just jump in and create everything at once. I do have my eyes on some very unique and gorgeous pendants that I could use as a base and create with that, but I couldn't order them yet because they are a bit pricier. And there's a lot that goes into it. You need packaging. I was going back and forth, and I still do, about the materials. I mostly only use stainless steel because I have a very sensitive skin. And most of the things, this is why I only have one ring because all the stainless steel rings are so ugly. And I've been wearing this one ring. I used to wear rings on almost all my fingers. I loved wearing rings, but I can't. So I thought maybe I start with stainless steel, but offer both colors, gold and silver. And I really want to create art using pressed flowers in thrifted frames. I think it just looks beautiful. I feel like every day we're getting further and further from how we're supposed to live. Everything is so fast, overproduced, made by machines. We're just losing touch at this point. And I think a lot of us are really craving a slower, simpler kind of life. I've never ever been a career person. I never ever wanted to climb any ladder other than putting out my Christmas lights.
I think we really need connection. We really need connection to nature and to each other. And I thought pressing these flowers and sharing them with you would be a lovely way to connect. I think my absolute favorite thing to press are ferns. I can't really do this outside of the bedroom because this is the only door that I have to isolate sort of the bedroom, and I'd rather Maple be in the main room and then I can go out there and cook and do things, whatever. Because here I have the two windows so I can sort of let the air flow, and resin is pretty toxic, so I'm using a mask and windows open. I'm going to put on the air purifier, and I also have a fan. Alright, so it is the next day because I was very tired yesterday after I finished the necklaces. I had a couple of pressed lavender and I thought, maybe that would look very nice. And I kind of tried it and I loved the look of it. And so I tried. The first attempt is already in the bin. The second and third attempt I still have, and I will tell you why later. They're very imperfect, but I love how they look. is just, you can see it very much, and honestly I'm not 100% sure you'll be able to see it. It feels impossible to add them without bubbles. With the last one, I was doing my very best to press out every possible little pocket of air. Lavender is very thick. I've been learning for the last few months. I always knew that I didn't really love the see-through ones. I was practicing on those, and I just knew that I wanted to have a black background, or maybe if I find eventually some other darker backgrounds, maybe some nice shade of burgundy or purple, I think that might look good as well. While I was making these, and it's such a shame because I really love how they look. They turned out so cute. But the moment I put the forget-me-nots into the resin, they changed color. Not all of them, but some of them. And I should have tried to take them off and put different flowers in it, I think. My friend told me they still look nice and she would like them, but I don't know. I'm very much of a perfectionist, and if I see even a little bit of detail that just is not perfect, I get very discouraged. However, I love them. I love how they look like, so I don't know how much you can see. And then I tried to put pressed yarrow on one, but then again, yarrow is very thick. So I had a tiny bit of resin started to sort of overflow because I had to try to build this dome. But other than that, it looks perfect. But there's a tiny detail on the top. You can, honestly, you can barely see it unless you look at it like super close there, but you can't really see it. And it's a shame. So basically, I only had 12 of these pendants. Sorry, I have a headache. Coffee is probably not good for a headache, but it is what it is. Out of the 12 pendants, 6 of them were not up to my standards. However, I have a lovely friend who mentioned that some shops actually offer these for, of course, a reduced price. So people can choose and they see the mistakes, if you want to call them mistakes, or like the imperfections. And I thought that was such a lovely way to deal with the loss, I guess, because I don't want to throw them out. But I wanted to show you the finished necklaces. I'm not 100% sure when I'm going to be able to put it up because of the packaging. I do have packaging, but because I got these little boxes before, which I think look really cute with the necklaces. However, I do not have the right size envelope. I do have these little sachets that I also got, and this would fit in the envelope, like a bubble wrap envelope that I have, but then I feel like it's kind of unprofessional. I don't know. I love these, this like little velvety little pouches, but then I don't just wanna drop. I don't have, maybe I could, I don't know, I don't really have the paper to fabricate something to hold. I don't know, I need to figure it out. So I probably will have to get some sort of packaging before I'm able to release these. So the point is I only have 6 necklaces for now, but it will definitely happen in August. So that will be like a very small August drop. And then if everything goes well, hopefully I can order more things. And I definitely want to. However, I like the round ones, but the oval ones is just my ultimate favorite. Like these look so much more just my style. I really, really love them. So I definitely will create a drop with the oval ones, maybe for September. So we have a shepherd's purse. We have a buttercup. And my personal favorite, I'm not sure how much you can see from here, but it's a fern. I will have these three in gold and silver colored stainless steel, I guess. I know some people prefer to wear gold or silver, but I thought we can keep the prices quite low, especially nowadays. I know that gold and silver are extremely expensive. This will be the first drop, 6 necklaces, and then we'll see how it goes. So today's plan is to celebrate Lughnasadh and maybe do a little spell. And then I'm going to have to work because it's the 1st of August and I gave myself a few weeks last month to just give myself a little break, which wasn't really a break because filming for 2 channels now, it's a lot of time. I was already running low on time and energy before the 2nd channel. I love doing it, don't get me wrong, but having 2 channels, filming for them, editing them, and working, it's a lot. But if everything goes well, today is the day that I'm finally able to monetize this channel. Yay! Thank you so much for watching, seriously. It means a lot. I created my other channel first, and in the beginning, I don't really have those videos public now, but in the beginning when I would show part of my altar or the money bowl that I had or some spells, I was getting some comments. So I just quickly decided that, okay, I should not be showing this side of me online. And then I posted on TikTok and Instagram a witchy kind of video, and they both blew up. And then I started creating more and people liked it. And I was like, that's very interesting. So it kind of works on Instagram and TikTok, but it doesn't seem to work on YouTube. And then I started getting messages that people would like to see this side of me on YouTube as well. But I knew that I can't really, or I felt like I can't really mix it into my silent vlogs because it's just different, I guess. Well, that's when I decided that, oh, maybe I should make a 2nd channel. And then I think I started planning that around February. But in the beginning, of course, I was busy with Luna and I was just occupied with his health. And then I was just too sad to start after he was gone. And then after a few weeks, I needed a distraction. So that's how I said that, okay, I think that's the perfect timing. And it sort of feels symbolic in a way because I was planning to do this when he was still here. It's for him and thanks to him that I sort of am coming out of the witch closet, which is again funny because I started being interested in all things spiritual, death, afterlife, magic, witchcraft, tarot crystals, everything you can imagine. I read books from Buddhist monks to witchcraft, all type of forms of spirituality, I think. I was always kind of the woo-woo girl. Even when I was working in a bar, I would be bringing my tarot and I was reading tarot to my coworkers. So it's actually nice to be able to be myself. And I know eventually there will be haters. There were already some people talking about, oh, she's an old crazy cat lady, and that is the biggest compliment you could ever give me. I always said that I strive to be the crazy cat lady. I want to be that cuckoo old lady collecting stuff, having a lot of animals, having purple hair. I always thought of getting old in that way, and that's fun. I don't get the obsession about staying young at all. My sort of role model, or who I picture that I will become one day if I'm lucky, is the character from Grace and Frankie, and it's Frankie. I just love her so much, especially with the way society sees women and women getting older and women in old age are kind of invisible. I'm hoping that with the age of social media and so many older women showing themselves on social media how they're still young and they still dress a certain way and they still travel and do things. I think it's very important. Let's do some woo-woo things today. On August 1st, we celebrate the first harvest. It's not like the solstice or the equinox. It's sort of a midway in between. This is the day to give thanks when we can reap what we've sown. And to me, today feels sort of like a new beginning. Before I set up the altar, I'm going to start with a cleansing spray. You don't need a lot of things to add. Most things I think you can find at your home. You don't have to use the exact same ingredients. If you don't have the essential oils, you can replace them with certain herbs that have similar properties. It's not a one set of rules. You can do whatever you'd like. So let's get started. Now that we collected everything in the bottle, obviously this is not enough for a spray because it just has some essential oils as liquid. I'm going to add the moon water that I made maybe 3 days ago during the full moon. Now that that is done, I'm going to make this cup as an offering. You can make a cup on your own with anything that you think represents first harvest of the year. If you have any grains, you can add that to your cup. You can add some rice, anything really that represents harvest. You can add some fresh flowers to your altar. It's all up to you. It's just a gesture to the spirits, to whatever you believe.